This is QTV This Morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde. We are back on another edition, and in our studios is Wednesday. Today is the 14th. Oh, the 14th of June already. Time flies, man.
Yeah.
Julia, it will soon be Tobaski. And
Ooh,
you know what?
Don't say that.
You know
word.
what? You know what Tobaski means?
Well, in the Gambia, I know what it means. It
Yeah.
means lots of people telling you that they need money to buy a ram.
A ram.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Clothes.
You know, I mean,
not to mention clothes.
exactly. So, good morning, Julia.
Good morning to you, Balde, and good morning to our viewers and Mr. Ade from wherever you're watching us. It's always good to be back. Namanasa Shobit. I think throughout last week I've not been here.
Please don't miss this
come?
program.
Last week, yeah.
Please
I
don't
wasn't
miss this
here.
program.
Why were you not here
When
last
you
week?
miss this program, the program misses you.
Yeah,
of
I know,
course.
right?
And we will have viewers complaining.
Absolutely.
Bring back Julde. Bring back Julde.
Bring back our Julde on this platform because we want Julde here. Yes. So, Mr. Ade, how have you been?
I've been well. I had to cancel a couple of programs because I was in danger of losing my voice. I had a sore throat, but that thankfully is gone, and I'm almost back to my abnormal self, or should I say normal self?
Yeah.
I'm not sure which, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm fine, and I'm well. Yeah.
The last time I had sore throat, my dad said to me, go and take
crazy.
lime.
That's what I did.
Yeah, so
Honey and
I mean,
lime.
I keep taking lime all the time.
And did it help?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, some of these,
Exactly. Eventually.
some of these natural remedies.
It will.
Yeah.
They're worth doing. So yeah.
Throat is a
Absolutely.
crazy one. For me, it wants to be my friend, but I said, no, I can't befriend you.
Banish.
Just
Yeah.
go your way.
Yeah. I mean, I think those are also normal things that one experience sometimes. So through headache,
Yeah.
you know. For me, headache is my problem.
Oh.
Yeah, headache.
And it's like, funnily, we don't
Headache is
consider
your-
them as
headache is your
diseases
headache.
or in this
Headache
country.
is my
Is your
headache.
headache.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
we don't consider them as.
Diseases in this country, like, they're just normal. You take paracetamol, you take painkillers, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's not something that we will bother ourselves to
My
go to the
mentor,
hospital.
my teacher, Francis
Well,
Jibril, headache is his problem.
I
He's
don't know
my
whether
mentor.
I don't know whether I agree with what Julia has said about we don't. The thing is, it was only when a Liberian friend came to visit last year, and I've said this many times before, that it struck me as to how many pharmacies there are in the Gambia, more than I can say I've ever encountered anywhere. And I hadn't even realized it because I kind of normalized it myself.
Yeah.
We were driving from the airport, and she suddenly said, why am I seeing so many pharmacies? And then I started counting. Oh my God, I mean, they are everywhere. They are absolutely everywhere. On Kairaba Avenue, we have what, is it 8 or 9?
So you justified my point.
But you know, so we obviously use these a lot. Well, you say I thought you were saying we dismiss them or
No, which is like, you go to a pharmacy and say that, okay, I need paracetamol.
So we're a nation of
Yeah,
hypochondriacs.
exactly.
Yes.
I need paracetamol, I need painkillers, and you are not even diagnosed to know
Right.
what happened.
That's the
It's just-
typical
yeah, it's
Gambian
just-
for you.
Yeah.
It's just me. It's
Doctor,
it's a
I
West
have
African thing.
headache. I need paracetamol, and they sell you paracetamol.
That's why we
in-
didn't even take the COVID-19 seriously, because we just thought that, it's just simple common
Yeah.
cold. Why would I
Well, that's
bother
right, or
myself?
flu, and we thought
Flu,
it's the
yeah.
flu, it will go.
Yeah,
and we, in my younger days, there was a thing, May and Baker was a pharmacy company, and they were called M&B. And you would go to the pharmacy and say, give me 2 M&B. I don't even know what was in M&B. Was it a cold remedy or flu remedy? Who knows? But we grew up, they go to the Koto in the corner and it will give you 2 M&B. You take your 2 M&B tablet and you say, I feel fine now.
M&B.
M&B.
Well, sometimes
Baker.
M&B didn't even work.
I mean, M&B, Fenzik.
But because of the way people portray it,
This is it.
you try
Mentally,
to tell them it works.
you convince yourself. And that's why in Nigeria, in the 80s, 70s and 80s, a whole trade grew up of people making fake medicines with chalk.
Yeah.
So they would grind chalk to make it look like the tablet. They would even put the M&B insignia
Oh
on
my
it. And you go
goodness.
and buy it and you think you're getting
While
treatment
you
for
are
corona.
taking
You're just
chalk.
taking chalk. It's still going on in Nigeria. In fact, I mean, it might have started and got really bad in the 70s and 80s, but it became a huge industry
Absolutely.
in Nigeria because they mimic the whole packaging of the real thing.
Yeah.
And so you think you're buying the actual thing.
So, I mean, let's take a
That's
look at
serious.
our African proverb before we go for the break. Yeah, so Julde, it reads,
Yeah.
Even if you dance in water, your enemies will still accuse you of causing dust.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know, this is similar to the elephant. When an elephant is in trouble, even a frog will kick him.
Yeah.
Well, this one, I think it's case of if people don't like you, then they really don't like you. No matter what you do, you will never be able to win them around. You know, you could perform miracles, you could do anything, and they will still not be satisfied with what you've done. You know, people like Jose Mourinho, when he was at Real Madrid, they won the league and they still sacked him. Because it wasn't enough. It's like, you know, what more do I need? Of course, they wanted him to win the Champions League. So yes, I think in life, there are some instances where no matter what you do, you'll never be able to satisfy some people. And particularly, as it says here, if they are your enemies, they will find fault with everything you do. Even as others are praising you, they will be condemning or criticizing you.
Well, I mean, will that take us somewhere? Or will that be dragging us behind? You know, our progress of going forward will be very slow. People will tell you, even if your enemies laugh at you, just keep pushing. But also, pushing needs to go with motivation.
Yeah, I mean, in some countries, you will find somebody takes over as president or prime minister, and there was no infrastructure. And, you know, after 2 terms in office, there's a lot more infrastructure. And yet people won't appreciate that. What they will condemn is that, yeah, he built 10 bridges and 15 roads, but, you know, but my pay hasn't gone up, you know. So, you know, what you're saying about will it drag us back? Sometimes it does, because sometimes you don't see the bigger picture. All you see is the thing that affects you as an individual, and that's what you complain about.
Exactly. Julde, what do you make of this proverb?
Yeah, I think Mr. Ade said it all. One thing that is fundamental is that you can't really satisfy human beings. You can't satisfy people. No matter what you do, they still have a but in whatever you do, whether you like it or not. Even God cannot satisfy people. I mean, what are you expecting, you as a human being? So whatever you're doing is do it with good intentions, do it for God, do it for yourself, do it for your conscience, and that's it. Don't expect anything from anyone, whether be it friends, be it enemies, be it neighbors, be it friends or relatives. Just do what is right, and, you know, do it to the best of your ability, and don't expect anything in return. Because the people that you're doing stuff for and you expect that they will praise you, one thing you will, just one day you will mess up, and that's it for them. They will feel like you've never done anything good in your whole life.
They've been looking for that excuse to jump on you.
Exactly. So the most important thing is do stuff for yourself, for good, and then don't expect anything in return.
Just do you.
Just be you. Just be good,
you
and
know,
don't expect anything in return.
I have seen situations where people are trying to impress people.
Others.
People are trying to adjust and impress people. It's good to adjust some point, granted, but I think you have to be yourself. You understand? You know, well, for me, I don't know, but I don't do things to impress people. I do me. Even if at all I'm not perfect. Yes, I am like that.
No one is perfect.
Yeah, but I will try and adjust, but not to impress anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up at a time when, I think because of our upbringing, we found it hard to even accept praise, even when we had done something good, because our parents didn't want us to become arrogant. And so even now, if people praise me for something, that I kind of take it with a pinch of salt, and I don't get carried away, because I didn't do it to impress anybody. I did it because either it was the right thing to do or I was doing my job. You know, so for example, when I was in the UK, they contacted me and said, oh, you know, we want to put your name forward so that the Queen can give you an MBE or OBE. And I said, well, what for? And he said, oh, you know, the stuff you did around Ebola, you brought the community together. And honestly, and this is not bragging or anything, I said, well, it was teamwork. Why should I get the award? Not everybody. You know, so I turned it down. I found it difficult. I would have found it difficult to live with if they had given me an award when I knew that I was the chairman.
Collective,
yes. But the collective did a lot more work than I did. I was the one who went to the conferences and I spoke. So what? The ones who were doing the real work were the other people. Why not give them the award? So, you know, sometimes you have to kind of check yourself and say, you know, I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do, not because I want to impress anybody. So.
Exactly, it's the right thing to do. Well, we'll take a short break. Let's take a look at some of the commercials of QCell. I mean, let's look at the 5G and, of course, the reduced data tariff and on-net and off-net calls. As you know, a week ago, QCell launched the mighty 5G network. I mean, the first to launch 5G, genuine 5G, you know, and at the same time...
You're rocking the 5G t-shirt.
Exactly. That's why I'm rocking my 5G. Well, the 5G is in the Gambia. If you are doubting, come to our office and we'll activate your SIM card, and you have to reside in, you know, one of those 5G coverage areas to be able to access the 5G either on your phone or your router. So what we do, we'll take a short break and we'll be back.
Technology has always been at the forefront of our lives, and the way we use it has evolved drastically over the years. With the advent of 5G internet, we are entering a new era of technological innovation that promises to transform the way we live, work, and play. 5G internet is capable of providing data speeds up to 100 times faster than 4G, making it the ideal solution for streaming high-quality videos, playing online games, and downloading large files on the go. 5G internet is already transforming cities across the globe, powering smart cities, self-driving cars, and virtual reality experiences that were once thought impossible. 5G internet is also paving the way for Internet of Things, allowing for seamless connectivity between devices and the creation of a truly connected world. For the first time in the Gambia, QCell is bringing tomorrow's technology to you today with the launch of QCell 5G Internet. Get ready to experience the out-of-this-world wonders of QCell's 5G Internet. For more information, call 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
The future is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell brings you the future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350. Or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
We are back. You are watching QTV. This morning, I am Ibrahim Abalde. On this platform, I'm joined by Julden Jai and Mr. Ade Drame, our head of news department, to help us go through the newspaper review. Well, we don't have actually.
I had threatened a boycott if we didn't have
here,
newspapers.
But I think I can get the electronic newspaper. It's already here. So what we do, let's take a look at some of the headlines on this paper. It will take us back. It's like I have a problem with most of the newspapers in the Gambia and other media outlets. What is supposed to be news is something new that people don't know.
Right.
But it's like since President Adam Barrow announced you know, his bid to run for third term, it's like the newspapers are carrying it, you know, all the time.
Yeah, it will become news. I mean, you know,
it is news
because people will still be discussing it.
Yes.
And there will be different angles, which is why it's a kind of running story.
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at it,
yes.
From the day it was announced in Kunting,
yes,
and even the 2-year-old boy in Changali Cheudo knows President Barrow.
He just made it up.
No, Changali Cheudo, it's a region around Basse.
Okay.
I mean, yeah,
wow.
we have Changali, Alkali, Changali Cheudo,
okay.
you know. So even a person living in those areas knows President Barrow has this intention to do this because he announced it. But I think what we call news is something new.
No, but I think you're not getting my point. The stories now are not simply that he's announced. It's reaction to his announcement. That's what you're getting now. That's why it's news. Because other people, both internally and externally, are reacting to that announcement, and that's what keeps the story running. It could probably run for another 2 weeks because people, you know, you might even get the IMF commenting or you know, so it's not the announcement that they're still carrying. No, that's been out there already. As you said, even the child in where? Changali Chowdo?
Changali Cheudo, yeah.
Will know, but that's not, they're not saying, oh, he announces. What you're getting now is reaction to that announcement, and I've seen lots of reactions on social media and elsewhere.
And yes, and news is about the people, should be interesting, you know, about the people, and of course it should hold people to account. And you know, statements like these should not be left like that. Probably in the next 10-20 years, we could say that President Barrow said that he's going to run for the 2026. We don't know whether he will change his mind eventually to say, no, I'm not running.
Still 3 years.
Yeah, exactly, 2026. Macky Sall, when he was coming, he said that he's not going for the third term. But now we are seeing that he did not say specifically that I'm going to run for the third term in office, but he's silent about that. And people are bringing videos of him where he mentioned that I will not go for a third term or through Amanda. So these things, like, you know, it helps people to hold their leaders to account.
With Macky Sall, I mean, what he said, he's very clever. I mean, he did this interview on France 24, and I think he was being quite deliberate in his choice of words, because he was asked the question quite deliberately, will you run for a third term? And his answer was, if I wanted to, I could, because the Constitution would allow me to do so. He didn't say, yes, I'm going to. But everyone, oh, he's going to run. He never said that. People need to check the interview. He was quite deliberate in his
like
choice
when he
of
came
words.
to office,
of course.
the first interview.
I mean, the term limits thing came under him.
Yeah.
you know, it came under his government, under his watch. So, you know, it's not like he wasn't aware that there were going to be term limits. But now it's like he's just playing jokes with people's minds by saying, if I wanted to, I could run. Okay, well, tell us, are you going to run? Are you not going to run?
Yeah.
You know,
well, I think that was, like you said, he was trying to play with people's mind. I mean, he was just intelligent to say that. I think sometimes you just need to mention certain things and look at the people's reaction.
People pick it and run.
Yes, yeah. So it's really a big chaos in Senegal. I think he should not have even mentioned that. And you know, but I mean, Mr. Are, when you look at the constitution, according to Macky Sall in Senegal, well, if he wants to run, he can still run.
Yes, because
for presidency.
What he is claiming is that even though the new constitution says somebody can only do 2 terms, he is saying that his 2 terms should not count because it's a new constitution.
It's
not retrospective. Now, if people were clever, they could have made it retrospective and said anybody who has already served 2 terms cannot serve 2 terms under this new constitution. But it doesn't say that. It is silent on that point. And because it is silent, then you can't impute. So I've been arguing with people on Twitter about this. In fact, one guy was saying that in every country in West Africa, president should only serve 2 terms, whether the constitution says so or not, which is a nonsense. You know, if the constitution should stipulate, and if it doesn't, then you can't be bound by something that's not there. You know, just because people think it might be a nice idea. So yeah. So what else do we have?
All right, I'm told we have the finance minister, Mr. Sidi Keita, on the line. So as you know, we were talking about, I mean, the IMF, you know, funds to the Gambia. I mean, we were talking about it, how it's going to impact other areas in this country. So it's important for us to engage the Honorable Minister on this program, at least to clarify some of the things, and maybe if there are conditions, so that we can know. Good morning, Honorable Minister.
Good morning, sir.
It's good to have you on this program. Have you taken your coffee?
Yes, I'm getting already in the work mode. Yes.
But it's like we are living tradition. You should take mono.
Not coffee. I didn't take coffee. I took cornflakes.
Oh, you took cornflakes. Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, I don't think I need to go up and down. I mean, we are calling you to at least clarify that agreement made between the Gambia government and IMF on this loan. So it's important for you to clarify that on this program. Can you take us through?
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, point of clarification. The Gambia has been in an IMF program since 2020 in the last 3 years. And that program has a number of criteria and performance benchmarks with a view to deepen reform, ensure macroeconomic stability, and reposition the country's financial on a sound footing. And the program runs for 3 years. The program we have entered into is called the Enhanced Credit Facility, ECF. Every 6 months, a review is conducted to identify whether the performance criteria, quantitative and non-quantitative, are met. So this has been going on, and we have concluded the program. The board has approved the staff assessment of the successful completion of the program on the 12th of June, and the board conveyed the approval of the program. And the highlight of this is that this is the first time ever in the history of the Gambia to have successfully completed an IMF program. Particularly, and the icing on the cake is the program was completed in a very tough and challenging economic environment. We have the COVID-19 crisis, Russia-Ukraine war, supply chain disruption, the poly-crisis of the food, fuel, and fertilizer price inflation, heightened inflation, limited availability of foreign currency, affecting a number of developing countries. And even these shocks were not peculiar to developing countries alone. The developed countries had their fair share of the challenge. So I think it's very commendable on the government of the Gambia to have been able to deliver a successful program in a very tight and difficult economic environment.
All right, Mr. Ade.
I think on that note, we will not be able to do justice without extending the appreciation of the economic operators to His Excellency the President for having given us the free room to maneuver and manage the economy in such a difficult situation. He had given us all the backing, all the support required, and all the reforms that were pillars of the program. So a big thank you to himself and the government, and also as a Gambian, every Gambian should be proud of this achievement, that this will only enhance the credibility of the country and make the country's macroeconomic fundamentals stronger, because the reforms that were central pillars of this program have been entrenched, and they will go a long way to building strong and resilient institutions to deliver macroeconomic stability.
Honorable Minister, Adedarami here, Head of News. I just wondered if I could ask, when we were discussing this before we came on air, we were saying that if I am the man on the minibus or a taxi and I hear about 6.6 million, my question will be, what is this money going towards? It's being given to the Gambia. How is the Gambia government going to spend it? Who's going to benefit from the $6.6 million that we just heard?
As part of the program, after every successful review of the program, a disbursement is done. And this being the final assessment, a $6.6 million equivalent will be disbursed to the Gambia, and it will be mainly to support the balance of payment. As you know, Gambia imports more than it exports, and that puts the balance of payment under strain. So the disbursement from the fund will not be going into active projects or specific interventions, but will go to the central bank to support the balance of payments position, provide the dollars for the reserves build up that are essential to macroeconomic stability.
Of course, when you talk about the quantitative and non-quantitative criteria that the Gambia was able to meet, what are you talking about here?
Yes, as a program, quantitative are those criteria that are measured in numbers. For example, under the program, you have your reserve level, net domestic asset level, you have the net domestic borrowing requirement, net domestic borrowing requirement. So all of these are levels that are established at each assessment phase of the program. For example, as of the last program, it was agreed that we could not, as a country, have a net domestic borrowing within the program of 1 year beyond $2 billion. So that means government borrowing or net domestic borrowing cannot exceed that amount. So that is one element. Also, the net reserve of the central bank was also identified as a quantitative criteria. On the non-quantitative criteria, those are the reform measures, like what the government should do on the institutional reforms, like the passage of the procurement bill, the state-owned enterprises, the public financial management, the budget transparency. So those are another element. So it's not just a program that is numbers, but also you have targets that are not quantified in numbers, but that are performance-driven. And as such, you are assessed on whether you meet it or you don't meet it. So that is the technical, in a layman's way of explaining this.
Okay. Yeah. So how will this really support Gambia's post-COVID-19 recovery?
No, actually, big boost, because it has meant that the economy is now more resilient. We have more credibility as economic operators, and the agreement, the milestones reached. Every criteria, once you meet, it is an added strength to your economic fundamentals. So the more you meet these targets, the more you are building on your economic strength. So what is happening is an economy is like you are building a firepower for a rainy day. So it doesn't mean that once those trends are realized, you just deploy them to address immediate challenges of the day. But it helps you be more resilient. That means that other donors or other bilateral and multilaterals will look at us as managing our economic affairs so that the confidence in the economy is strong, and the goodwill that participants and the economic operators inside and outside the Gambia have of the government will increase. So in a nutshell, that is what an IMA program does. It lends credibility to the macroeconomic management of the country. And having successfully graduated out of that for the first time is a testimony of macroeconomic management that is being done as we speak.
Okay. We know that.
But of course, this is not one institution. It's a cross-cutting issue. We have key operators from the central bank on the monetary side, the government on the fiscal side, the GRA on the revenue mobilization side, all playing their active part. And each of these entities have their targets in the program, which are assessed periodically every 6 months.
So we know that the Gambia is not the only country under this credit facility program, but then we've seen that figures are different. Other countries and what the Gambia is given is different. What is the rationale behind that? What is responsible for that?
Size.
Yes.
Can you come back? I don't get you. There was a break in your...
I mean, we know that the Gambia is not the only country benefiting from this credit facility program. So what are the determining factors? We know that in terms of figures, it's different. What other countries are getting and what the Gambia is getting is different. What are the determining factors?
No, every program is designed taking into account the country-specific factors.
Okay.
There is not a one-cap-fit-all approach. They will come, assess the economy, assess the economic fundamentals, and based on that, a program is designed. And for your information, we have, as a government, requested for a follow-up program to ensure that, because these programs come with reforms, and these reforms are what build the institutions. We want to build strong institutions that will make the economy resilient and ensure we are able to withstand the shocks from now on to the future. Because one very important phenomenon that we are going through across the globe now is the level of shocks. The level of shocks that have been witnessed in the last 3 years has been unprecedented. There has never been a time in global history when the entire globe was shut down that was imposed by COVID-19. As if that is not enough a challenge, then Russia-Ukraine struck. Supply chains disrupted, and Gambia, being a net importer of basically whatever we consume, is affected by the global economic developments. So it is therefore imperative that we reposition the economy in such a way that it will be resilient to shocks, which are almost certain to happen. And now it is the new normal that things of the past of stability throughout on a sustained period is not likely to recur. Nobody knows what will happen tomorrow, but it is better to be prepared than be caught by surprise.
Yes, all right. I think that's all we have on this program for the Honorable Minister. Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for
thank you
talking
very much,
to us
and
on
I
this
thank
morning.
all the staff of the ministry and the GRA and the central bank and the government, the entire machinery, for having provided the enabling environment for the program to be delivered to a level of where we have been able to graduate successfully out of it. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for talking to us on this morning.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yes.
Thank you. And if I could just pick up very quickly on a point that Julde raised about the different sums that are attributed, but the minister sort of addressed it. If you compare Sierra Leone and the Gambia, Sierra Leone got $20.7 million. But when you read the report on Sierra Leone, it is quite scathing. It's not a vote of confidence in the government of Sierra Leone. In fact, quite the opposite. It goes on to say that if we don't give the government of Sierra Leone this money, they won't even be able to pay government salaries.
That's serious.
We're not in that situation here in the Gambia. But so different amounts for different countries.
That is a very serious
and that's a serious
there.
one. I mean, there's an election coming up. I don't know whether the opposition will pick up on that in Sierra Leone, but certainly it's not a vote of confidence, unlike the one in the Gambia. In Gambia, if you read the full it's quite positive. The IMF press release is quite positive about the steps that the Gambia is taking.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Ade, for also joining this program. It's always good to have you here.
Always good to be invited.
Yeah, so we'll take a short break. After the break, the program continues. We'll be right back.
Step into the Espas Motors showroom for your luxurious name brand vehicle. Located along the Bertil Harding Highway, Espas Motors is the Gambia's authorized dealer for Chery, Kia, Ford, and now we bring you the new Peugeot model 3008 SUV. 18-inch alloy wheels, 216 inches high ground clearance, keyless entry system, start and stop button, rear parking assistance system with reverse camera, adaptive cruise control with speed limit, LED daytime running lights, front and side airbags, 8-inch HD touchscreen. Not to forget our exquisite Peugeot Landtrek double cabin pickup with 2.1-liter diesel engine, 6-speed manual transmission 4x4, hill descent control, LED daytime running lights. Espas Motors, the authorized dealer for Peugeot. Visit us today or call us on 35-2222 or 353-4444.
Do your banking the smart way with the new Ajibank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Ajibank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Aji Bank, your investment partner. You asked for it, and QCell is giving it to you with our new and improved Sunyu Bundle Mega Promo. Now you can get more data at cheaper prices. Buy any of our bundle packages and enjoy massive discounts. Dial *303# and enjoy browsing on the network with the biggest coverage. Buy a 20 megabytes data bundle for as low as $7 and 50 bottles today, or purchase bigger bundles up to 20 gigabytes. Yes, that's right, 20 gigabytes of data at your fingertips. With our mega promo bundles, you can browse more, chat longer, and stay connected on the go, anytime, anywhere. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, we innovate, orders follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, so we are back. You are watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde with my colleague Julden Jai. Now let's talk to Male Salah, Director, International Investment Limited, Cape Beach Hotel. I mean, trying to bring more investors in the Gambia to boost the Gambia's tourism sector. Well, as you know, the tourism sector, have been affected by a lot of factors for a very long time. Before the advent of COVID-19, we have seen how they were struggling, at least to bring tourists to the Gambia. And COVID-19 also, they struggled a lot. So, having such an initiative will really help boost the tourism industry. Yes,
absolutely, no doubt about that. So, welcome, Mr. Salah. Sumato Malamu, Male Julde Salah. And I was telling him the other day, why are you not using your Julde name?
Nice.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much and good morning.
Well, it's good to have you here, Male. Let's talk about, this initiative first.
Yeah.
I mean, take us through.
It was very interesting to watch the Minister of Finance when he, at the tail end of his presentation, he talked about external shocks, internal external shocks. He also mentioned about Gambia being a net importer. I think one thing that is very important to note, something that I think sometimes we take it for granted in this country, is that the tourism industry is actually an export product that we have. It's something that we sell to the world, and because of that, people come in and buy our products. So it is an export product that we have, and it is one of the few export products that we actually do have in this country. So I think as an industry, we need to support it. Everybody needs to support it. It's a Gambian product, and it should be led by Gambians, and we expect all Gambians to support the tourism industry. The industry, of course, is very sensitive when we talk about shocks, both external and internal. The tourism industry in the country has gone through some heavy shocks, a lot of them external, but also some internal. We dealt with the bankruptcy of Thomas Cook. Thomas Cook was a big provider of tourists into the country. The industry has gone through Ebola. It has gone through COVID recently. And internally, we had the political impasse and as an internal shock that the industry has gone through. So the Gambian tourism industry has gone through a beating, but again, it is still an export product, and it is still resilient, and it is still led by Gambians who are making big investments in this industry. And I think because of that, we need to maybe redirect the way we see this industry. It could be that I think as an industry, we are not doing the full potential. We could do much more as an industry. We could be attracting many more tourists into this country. And it should be, the focus of every Gambian to see how we work together to turn Gambia into something like what Cape Verde has done. They are already doing 1 million tourists into Cape Verde. So we have a lot of potential. I think we have more to offer than Cape Verde. And we started tourism before. So there is a lot of potential.
Well, when Mr. Ade, was on the program, we were talking about the percentage, the number of tourists that visits the Gambia and Cape Verde. Well, when he mentioned the Cape Verde percentage, I was surprised.
Absolutely.
And I was even like, well, Gambia, I think we are struggling with 300,000.
Actually, after COVID, it has gone down to around less than 200,000 tourists. It is still growing. There is a positive growth in the industry, but we still have a lot of work to do.
Well, I mean, you mentioned Cape Verde. Cape Verde is an island, and they don't have things that Gambia have. We all have these things. Yes. So we have all the things that can attract tourists here, but also they are dilapidated. I mean, Mr. Male, tourists want to see things that are new. They want to see things that they've not seen in their country. But I mean, the ones we have here, look at our heritage sites, look at our other sites that tourists are supposed to visit, look at the zoo, look at all these things. I mean, do you think we have anything to show to tourists?
I think we have a lot of things to show to tourists. First of all, the main asset we have in our tourism is the Gambians, the way we are as human beings. It must be in our genes that we might be the most hospitable people in the world.
Yes, that's true.
Sometimes a little bit too hospitable, but and that is the bad element of it. But on general, when we create a balance, Gambians are nice people and very welcoming to tourists. And every tourist who comes to the Gambia, if you don't meet those who are, overtly too friendly, you leave and say the best experience I've had in this country is the people.
That's true.
So the people are the asset. You are right. Our product is not the best product in the world. We need to really work on it. Just talking about our hotels have gone through major shocks, We are still trying to recover from COVID. We were trying to recover from Ebola, and then COVID hit. Before that, you had the political impasse hitting, then COVID hitting. So the hotels have gone through the major shocks. And when the hotels have a fever, I can tell you, everybody in this industry gets malaria. It's a fact. Because the guests come into the hotels, and from there, you have the trickle-down effects of tourism, where the taxi drivers will, carry tourists. You have the market women selling, vegetables to the hotels. You have the craft vendors in the markets selling their crafts. So tourism, as the biggest employer in the private sector of this country, has gone through major shocks, and we need to realize that this has happened and find ways to, support the industry so that these shocks are somewhat absorbed, and we can move our industry further with products. Because you can market as a destination as much as you want, but if you don't have the products, you have nothing to market. It has to start with the product. So once the product is there, then you can say to the world, hey, I have this thing to offer you. And this is where things like TUI Blue become very important. TUI Blue is a subsidiary of TUI, which is the biggest tour operator in the world. Now, when TUI Blue comes into a destination, or any of the TUI brands comes into a destination and identifies the destination as somewhere where they would like to establish their brand, you know that that country has potential. Sometimes they come in when the potential is very young, like with us, but in other countries they are going in when the potential is mature, like in Turkey, for example. You have more than 100 TUI Blue hotels in the world, and they keep on signing. Every week they're signing 3 or 4 more hotels, all the way in China. They have signed, I think, a few weeks ago, about 5 or 6 hotels in China. Now, today they are actually formally launching the TUI Blue in Gambia in Nairobi. There's a big meeting of African tourism investors in Nairobi, and the TUI Blue Gambia is going to be launched during that event.
Oh, wow.
This is actually TUI Blue Gambia, TUI Blue Tamala, and TUI Blue TUI Blue Kotu Point. Yeah, you keep on saying Cape Point. Yeah, it's TUI Blue Kotu Point.
Kotu Point.
Yeah. 2 products that are going to be branded under the TUI Blue umbrella. Now, what does this mean? TUI Blue does not invest. TUI does buy hotels sometimes, but in this destination in particular, they are not buying a hotel. They are coming in as to manage our product. So it is called a hotel management agreement. We own the hotel. By the way, these hotels are 100% Gambian owned. So this is a very important thing to discuss.
To clarify. Yeah.
Clarify that these hotels are 100% Gambian owned.
Yeah.
Most of the hotels in the Gambia actually are 100% Gambian owned. And this is something that we have to be proud of. When we got into this industry, I think it's now 12 years ago, the majority was not like this. The majority of hotels were not owned by Gambians. And this dynamics have changed. Yeah. We have our doyens that started taking over hotels like Sami Laimboj, the late Sami Laimboj, the late Adi Saj. I mean, these are strong men that led the way and opened the way for us to come in and make these investments in the industry. You had Alaji Basiru Jawara as also one of the first investors, Gambian investors in the tourism industry. But TUI Blue came into Gambia, looked at quite a few hotels in the country, and decided that our group was the group that they wanted to work with. So they looked at Tamala. I mean, we know Tamala. Yeah. Not because it's one of our products, but
it's the place to be.
Yeah, it is a product that I can proudly say can be showcased anywhere in the world. You know. Kotu Point is the next project. It's not finished yet. It's still under construction, but it's going to be a 5-star product. It's going to be one of the top range hotels for TUI Blue. Wow. Now, why is TUI Blue important to the Gambia? Exactly. And why did we decide? Because we are managing Tamala. Exactly. We are managing Tamala. Tamala is doing well as a product. Tourists like it, Gambians like it, people in the sub-region like it. We've marketed it very well. Yeah. It's a success. Why do we go into TUI Blue? And these are questions that, as investors, we sat down, myself and Omar, my partner, and discussed why we should do a TUI Blue when they approached us. TUI Blue approached us to turn Tamala into a TUI Blue and to do a Kotu Point with them. We did it mainly because of the positive effect it will have on our country. We didn't need to do this commercially because Tamala was running fine. When you get into a deal like this, TUI Blue doesn't come for free. They come, of course, to also make money. So you pay them a commission. Yeah.
How much are you talking about?
We have an NDA. We cannot disclose.
It's not like other deals where they now okay, I will take all the 70 and you got to take the 30.
No. You are talking to some very, very, very shrewd businessmen.
Absolutely.
We know what we are doing.
Yeah, definitely.
No. But we weighed the pros and cons of doing a TUI Blue. And the main reason, one of the main considerations was the positive effect it will have on our country. What is this effect? We've looked at Cape Verde as a destination. We've looked at Senegal as a destination. By the way, Senegal as a destination is fast approaching, it's fast moving towards being a major competition for us. But we looked at Cape Verde. Why did Cape Verde grow? Why is Senegal growing so fast? And why is Gambia growing slowly?
Yes, that's a big question.
Yeah. And we saw that it was because of the commitment of the tour operators in that destination. We want a destination. Sometimes when you listen to some of the experts in tourism, they tell you, we don't want tour operators. They come into the destination, they spoil the destination, they don't pay you on time and all of that. It all depends on how you negotiate with them. When we negotiate with a tour operator, they know that we are equal partners, and they know that before you use our product, you have to pay us. This is how we operate with the tour operators. But what we need we need to cater to every niche. We cannot say we are going to choose only the independent traveler and not deal with the tour operator. We cannot say that we don't want all-inclusive. We only want bed and breakfast. When other countries are offering these products. So we need to offer a full bouquet of products so that anyone who wants to go on a holiday will look at Gambia and say, hey, you are offering me what I need. If not, they will go somewhere else. We had this big movement against all-inclusive tourism, and it has actually affected us up to today.
Yes.
Today, Cape Verde is growing,
All-inclusive.
has 1 million tourists, while we are still stuck at 180, 190,000
that's
tourists.
bad.
Yeah. Senegal is going to move to 1 million tourists, maybe even this year. Unfortunately, because of their political issues, it might affect them. We pray to Allah that that is resolved. Because also, when Senegal sneezes, we catch a cold. So we need to make sure that all Gambians pray that this issue in Senegal is sorted out. Because if anything happens in Senegal, it is going to spill over into Gambia. Senegal, we are in the middle. We are sandwiched by Senegal. So we should all hope and pray that the issue in Senegal is sorted out. But going back to this whole issue of TUI, when we made the decision, we didn't have to, because we run our hotels on full standards, good standards. We fill up, our hotels are doing quite well as far as occupancies are concerned. But we thought, if we look at Cape Verde, and we look at Senegal, and we look at other destinations, and why they are doing so well in tourism, why have they reached this 1 million threshold? Why have we still not reached 300,000 tourists? It is because of commitments that tour operators have in those countries. We don't have an airline. These tour operators bring the charters, and this is how tourists come into the country. So we decided, in the interest of the Gambia,
yes.
we are going to jump into this deal with TUI Blue.
Despite Tamala is doing good,
yes.
You know,
despite the fact that it will cost us paying commissions, it makes sense for the country. Because what will happen, when the tour operator has a TUI Blue here, TUI Blue has a bigger interest in the country, and they are going to do whatever they can to make sure TUI as a tour operator increases the flights into the country. These flights are not going to come into Tamala. When Tamala is well occupied, there will be spillover into all other hotels in the country.
True.
So this is one of the major reasons why we agreed to go into this deal. Also important, summer tourism. We realized that when TUI built a hotel in Senegal, they started to take summer tourists into Senegal. And this was when, during our negotiations with TUI Blue, one of the main points we brought about was, we are doing very well in the winter. In the summer, we have challenges because the tour operators are not flying in. Some of the airlines stop flying in. Can you guarantee us business in the summer? If you guarantee us business in the summer, we will sign. And when you guarantee us business in the summer, when you sign with us and you bring flights into the Gambia, they are not all coming to us. We think of our partners. They will come to our partners. But one thing has to be clear. TUI Blue is looking for good products. So as a country, we have to make sure that products that are not up to standard are brought up to standard. Now, these are my colleagues, and I want to appeal to government that these hotels have gone through hell and back, and we need government support to help my colleagues come to the same standards, if not to the same standards, even to come into better standards than Tamala. And when we allocate land in this country to investors, hopefully we allocate it to Gambian investors who have the foresight and have the capital to build hotels. They cannot be hotels that are of less standard than Tamala.
Exactly.
Because we want more TUI Blues. And we as a company will make sure that if anyone comes to this standard and provides the standard that TUI Blue requires, we are the ones who might come and assist you to even join the club. Because the bigger the club, the better it is for our country and the better it is for our business.
True.
So,
I'm talking too much, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
It's good. Good that you clarify all these things.
Yeah.
But also, when you talk about inclusivity in the country, we have a problem. Tourism in the country is just about Cape Point, you have the Senegambians and all that. People in Basse are suffering. Like, we need places like Tamala there where tourists will come. I mean, most of our sites are in the provinces.
Absolutely.
Like the Stone Circles and the Jufres and the others are in the provinces.
Domestic
but we don't have
tourism.
We don't have hotels, good hotels where tourists can go and lodge and all that. Are you thinking in that line?
I think that if we look at most tourists who come to Gambia, they come for the sun and the beach. Yeah, that is a fact. We see a little bit more and more African Americans coming, and they are looking for different products. They will look at the historical sites and all of that. But regardless of that, any tourist who comes to Gambia will at least once go to see either Tanje Fish Market, to go to the museum or go to the market and do things like that. Or they would go to Janjambure or they would visit, the stone circles in Wasu or visit Jufure. Now, I'll be very honest with you. I myself went to Jufure, went to Georgetown about a month ago, and I was going to spend the weekend there. To be honest, I went there to do some scouting. I wanted to see what the products were in Georgetown, and on top of it, I wanted to go on the river and look for a good spot where we can invest in the future in an eco resort, because we cannot only keep the tourists along the coast. Even though most of them come for that, if you have good products of country, they will go.
Definitely.
But if you don't build it, they will not go.
They won't.
Forget it.
Yeah.
So I spent time in Georgetown, and to be honest, the products I saw there were not of standard. Yeah, I am not putting anyone's business down. While I say this, I am also appealing to government to help those businesses to raise their standards. Okay? Standards, it's all about standards. If you provide quality, people will come. Look at me. And I'm sure there are a lot more Gambians. I'm sure Mohammed, more Gambians who can afford to go on a weekend to Georgetown and take a boat trip on the river to go and see the hippos or the chimpanzees or the baboons there. They would do it.
That would be lovely.
We need comfortable facilities. And if we don't have comfortable facilities, where even Gambians I'm in Nongo Afdai, I'm from Afdai, who might accept certain conditions, say no to this, what would the tourists say?
Well, it will be very difficult.
So we need good products there, and once you build the good products, the people will come. So we have the tourists along the coast. We need to bring them to the hinterland. So the multiplier effects of tourism reaches Basse. Are you from Basse, Julie?
Yes.
Okay, you need to you need to benefit from tourism too.
Exactly.
You need to benefit from tourism too.
It's important. But I mean, thank God we have at least people like you who are speaking. I mean, so that things can change. I think it's important. Gambia depends, more on tourism.
Absolutely.
Once the tourism sector is booming, you can even see the difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
and the good thing is, the Honorable Minister, when we interviewed him, and he said that, not on that day, he said that the government is ready to support investors who are ready to come and support in quality hotels. They will support in any way. So I think your colleagues in the hotel industry can just go and knock on the door of the government. Hence, he said that they're ready to support in any way, as far as you are there to provide quality hotels. So I think that one,
I will gather all my colleagues tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, and we are going to wait on the minister. Please, can I have send me a recording of this. We're going to go stand at his door, and we're going to say we are here. Save us.
Well, it's important. Thank you very much, Male, for coming on the program. And, we wish you all the best. And, I hope it will be a very successful partnership. Yes, inshallah. Because we are happy that our Gambian brothers are owning hotels and they are doing very good. When you go to Tamala, I think, is it Sand, the other one next to Tamala? Kalimba.
Yes.
Exactly. I mean, these are all beautiful places to be. I was surprised. The other day I went to Basse. There was one gentleman who said to me, I heard about Tamala. The other day, I think Vivian played there, and he was trying to tell me about Tamala. I was like, wow.
No, their food is nice. I love the food.
But this is important. You say this because I think one thing we need to do more as Gambians is to support Gambians.
Yes.
I like your slogan, Sunyubos. And we need to think more like this, because nobody is going to come and build this country for us. Everybody who comes here is coming to take something away.
Definitely.
We are the ones who are here, toiling. When it's hard, we are here. When it's good, we are here. When it's raining, we are here. When the sun is hitting us hard, we are here. We need to be supporting each other.
True.
The government needs to support Gambian investors. Gambians need to support each other, and we need to stop pulling each other down. This is how we're going to move this country forward. Developing this country is not going to happen by foreign investors. It's not going to happen by foreign investors at all. It is us Gambians who are going to build this country. So we like it or not, this is what Allah has decreed for us. We are Gambians. He gave and he put us here not to just to wait for someone else to come and do it for us.
We have responsibility.
He put it here for us to do it ourselves.
Definitely.
So we need to be respected when we do it. When Gambians do well, we need to applaud them instead of pulling them down. You know, when foreign investors come here and want to fight Gambians and want to do things to Gambians here that they will not do in their countries. We need support from Gambians and our government.
Well, that's why, I mean, it's important for our people to look at the local content bill.
Absolutely.
You know, which will try to localize.
Absolutely.
I mean,
That
it's
is why I
important.
love Senegal.
That
I mean,
local
for them, they don't
content
joke
bill,
with their
absolutely.
own.
You know, we are calling on the government to look at the local content
Absolutely.
bill, you know, which
Absolutely.
will try to empower Gambians.
Because our country is small, we don't have that much to offer. So when you have people coming in, I mean, I am not xenophobic, but when you have people coming in and grabbing everything that we own in this country, people from outside, if you don't have local content, tomorrow is going to bring problems
It's going
for
to
our
be a
grandchildren.
problem. Definitely. That's the future there.
So we have to think about the future.
Thank you, Male, for coming on this program. You know, I think
Male
it's...
Julde Sala.
Yes,
I
Male
will change
Julde.
it.
Yeah.
You can say Julde Sala. from now
Male
on.
Julde Sala. All right. Thank you very much. We'll take a short break. After the break, the program continues. We'll be back.
Thank you.
Technology has always been at the forefront of our lives, and the way we use it has evolved drastically over the years. With the advent of 5G internet, we are entering a new era of technological innovation that promises to transform the way we live, work, and play. 5G internet is capable of providing data speeds up to 100 times faster than 4G, making it the ideal solution for streaming high-quality videos, playing online games, and downloading large files on the go. 5G internet is already transforming cities across the globe, powering smart cities, self-driving cars, and virtual reality experiences that were once thought impossible. 5G internet is also paving the way for Internet of Things, allowing for seamless connectivity between devices and the creation of a truly connected world. For the first time in the Gambia, QCell is bringing tomorrow's technology to you today with the launch of QCell 5G Internet. Get ready to experience the out-of-this-world wonders of QCell's 5G Internet. For more information, call 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
The future is now. With QCell's 5G network, experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled device. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyapus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell brings you the future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350. Or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Already gone almost at the tail end of this morning, and now we will talk to Lex Mane. Let's take a look at how a youth group volunteers, you know, are trying to help guide students in career counseling, you know, which is very significant. But first of all, Alex, let's talk about the bow tie. I love that.
Thank you, sir, for the compliment.
I love the blue. Have you studied, I mean, design, you know, are you a stylist or something?
No, I never studied that.
I like the white.
So
and the
Nyanchos
blue.
also know how to sunset?
Why not?
You know,
In
in fact, Alex, I mean, entered the studio and hijacked our program.
Yes.
You're not putting a laptop on your desk. Where's your laptop, Jules?
Alex,
Yes, good morning. It's good to have you here. We understand you and your colleague, you know, you're busy you know, I mean, trying to help students on career counseling. You know, how important is this?
Yes, career counseling is a very important thing because I'm a teacher by profession and then also a journalism student at the University of the Gambia. So I engage my students, asking them like, what do they want to do after graduating? But most of them already lost the picture. They'll be like, after graduating, I will now decide. And some I come to discover that most of them also, their parents will force them to choose a particular career out of their own wish. Some of them because of their peer influence. Yeah, so with that now, I also engage some of my colleagues in the field in different schools. They also give me similar reports. So I come to understand that this virus is a national virus. But now, how can we eradicate that? Is to come up with something. Then I contacted my colleague. He should be here, but he have a paper at the university.
That's Ismail Ajawara.
Ismail Ajawara, yeah. So I contacted him. We discussed the idea, and then we also seek attention of some individuals who also advise us to go in for the project. Then we name it Light the New Generation Network. And the idea is to go to different schools in the Gambia here and enlightening the students on how to choose a career. And what we do is we invite experts from different areas of life to talk to the students. One, in academia. Two, skills, because we think skills is important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so skills also is part of it. And also a life to adopt as a student, because you must have a particular lifestyle that will guide you to get to where you want to see yourself tomorrow. That is the summary of the initiative.
Okay. So when you talk about career counseling, of course, when going to school, most students will think about, I want to be a minister, I want to be a journalist, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be this. You hardly hear someone talk about career like, I want to be a carpenter, I want to be a professional tailor, I want to be this, I want to be that. So how are you going about that? Telling them the importance of skills acquisition and the importance of venturing into this, because we know that the future is business, man. You know, those in offices and those in business, you neka si business, you neka di nos from neka ni. You know, you neka si offices, they are only depending on their monthly salaries and all that. How do you go about that?
Yes, that is why, like I said initially, we invite experts from different areas. And then we make sure that we bring in somebody who is in the skill side.
Okay.
Then this person will usually talk to the students on the importance of skills, because we cannot all be in office. That one is certain. How many offices do you have in the Gambia here? There are not many. Therefore, if we have another program on the 20th at Bruceville Senior Secondary School, and we invited somebody who have been in the field for many years. So this person can solely mentor students on how to choose a career when it comes to skills. Do I want to be a plumber, a carpenter, electrician? We have a lot of skills. So this person, in fact, he's somebody who is well talented. He's a plumber, he's an electrician, he's even a welderman. So since somebody with this kind of talents, you know, if he talk to anybody, I believe that person will be convinced to solely perhaps ask him what are the way forward that you can do for you to get there.
So of course you told us that you are a teacher and also a journalism student at the University of the Gambia. And how do you go about this? And the funding, where is it coming from?
Good. In fact, I'm a plumber by profession also.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
I'm a plumber, yeah. Yeah, so I'm a teacher at Alubara Senior Secondary School. I'm a student at the University of the Gambia, studying journalism, and also a plumber. So I am carrying these three things.
Wow.
Yeah. So
a combination
of three things.
But how comes? I mean, you are teaching students to choose a career, and it's like you are carrying all these careers.
Multi-dime, yeah.
Yes.
So how comes? Alex, I hope something is not wrong somewhere.
No, what led me to go into all this is looking at the background that I came from. I don't have the support. So upon graduating from grade 12, what happened was I was like, why should I go? I don't have the fund to go to UTG and further my education. Then that was the time that I adventured into the skills. So I was in the skill for some years. Then there I got experience, and now thanks to God, I'm not qualified 100%, but nobody's qualified 100%. You can do your thing. But I can do my things. Yeah. Okay. So with that now, it is also generating fund for me to at least support my UTG transport and feeding and then the likes of, and then also my UTG tuition also, that one, some people are really supporting me to make sure I facilitate that.
Well, let's take a look at
the funding side. He's yet to tell us where he's getting the funding from.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The funding, mostly my church where I came from is giving me some, and also some individuals will also volunteer because maybe they love me or they admire me, and they'll be like, Alex, take this 1,000, take this 2,000. That is how I gather it up to date for me
Hope, Alex, you are not using these monies to pay your university tuition fee. Hope it's going back to the students. The man like Teddy, Alex said that, okay, he ventured into plumbering, you know, teaching and university and all this because he's coming from,
accountability
is important.
Now we are the generation that are going to run this country. Yeah. You understand? Don't mind people like Adam Barrow, Lawyer Dabo, Khalifa Salah, all these people, they'll soon get old. They will all retire. So we will be on the helm of affairs. Yeah. So we want accountability here. You understand? So it has to start from us. So it might sound as a joke, but it has to start from us now and here. How are you accounting for all these monies that you are given, you know, to put into your venture?
Yes, what I do is the money, any money that I receive from anybody, I'll make sure that I screenshot the how do you call it, the script, or and then I will forward it to the individual. This is how I use your money, because I want to be real and I want to be just to my actions. Because if I want to do other game, perhaps God can stop the support. Then where will I go? And I also personally sometimes, if I also have some money, I also help my students. I help many students in different ways. Yeah, so I thank God for that also.
So far, how many schools have you reached, and how many, what is the impact so far? Are you assessing, the level of impact this has on the students and all that, and the number of schools that you're able to reach so far since you started? When did you even start your organization?
We started this organization some months back.
Okay.
I think 3 months, yeah. It's a new organization, yeah. And then we went to Alibadra Senior Secondary School, where I am teaching. Okay. So, and also we want to go to Bruceby. Meanwhile, I can say we met one school, that is Alibadra Senior Secondary. School. Yeah, we wanted to meet a lot of schools because our targeted audience are the grade 12s and the grade 9s. Okay. But what happened, we come to discover that the grade 12s are almost about to finish with their program. So what we say is now, we'll just stop pause it after Bruceby. Then next year, we'll now see how best, during the summer, we'll plan ourselves properly, expand ourselves, and then invite some partners, and QTV will be part of our partners. So that we can, because the idea is to move from region 1 up to the entire region in the Gambia, in fact, even international if possible.
No, we are a strong advocate of that. I mean, I think this country, it's high time that we start decentralizing stuff. Yeah. Everything should not be in the greater Banjul area. The buses, the fatotos, they deserve also better. They deserve to benefit from these initiatives and all that. So where are you looking at the organization in the next year or so?
I'm seeing ourselves beyond the Gambia. Yes, that is the highest target. Yes, when we started at home, that's why I used my school as an example to see whether it will work. But thanks to God, it worked successfully. And thanks to the principal. When we told him about the idea, he was like, just go, weekday. So if Bruceby also the same thing, they were just welcoming us. All the schools that we contacted are really ready to make sure that we go to visit their schools. But due to time constraint, and then support at some time also is another problem. But the target is to go to the entire regions of the Gambia by next year, and even beyond the Gambian borders, Africa at large.
Nice.
Yes, that is the
I like that. I like the fire.
Yeah, thank you.
Exactly. So I mean, finally, what do you have to? What do you have for your students? I mean, those watching you right now, the church, pastor. Pastor is watching as well. So yeah. So I hope you pay Sunday fee. You have to be patient. So give me there. You have to fill that basket with money there, Alex.
Yes, I do. I do offer whatever I have. Yeah. So my advice to the students is, one, they should really identify a mentor and a career. When you identify the career, you should have somebody who will guide you. But please, you must identify somebody who understands the career that you want to adventure to. Because, for instance, if you ask me now, you want me to mentor you on health side. What do I know about health? So I might feel confused at the end of the day. So if you want to focus with the health side, you must look for a health expert. Education also the same thing. We want to be a plumber, look for a plumber who is well equipped with the knowledge. You understand? So that is my short advice to the students, because the reason is we don't want to see people or youths hanging around. If you are not in office, go into business, go into skills. There are a lot of opportunities. We cannot wait on the government to do it for us. There is no way that the government can do it for all of us. No. So we must build the fire in us, and then we move. And some of us who are now at least one step ahead of others, we should not look back and then take them along.
Each one teach one.
Thank you.
Yang inspire guy into journalism.
A lot.
We would love to have more journalists.
You know me, if I tell you, I'm a halfway medical student, like a doctor sort of. I was supposed to go to Venezuela with my colleagues to go and study medicine. And now they are all back, they are all medical doctors. And they are surprised to see me sitting here doing journalism. You know, but this is what I loved. You know, I went into studying, you know, science. You know, I started medicine, you know, because my parents wanted me to be a doctor.
I think
but I wanted
to
be a journalist. I wanted to be someone who, talk in public. I'm a public speaker.
and I think Balde's point is important. Oftentimes, it's not just the individual, but it's the parents.
Exactly.
They have a lot of contribution as far as their careers are concerned. I was lucky, like my dad, of course, he's an architect, he's a contractor and all that, and he wanted me, because I went to St. Peter's, he was happy that I would join his company eventually. But when I told him that no, I love journalism, he was like, okay, that's fine, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Wow. My younger brother is joining him, but I don't. I love journalism. So I think also, what are you doing in that line? Because yes, you're talking to students to choose their careers, to know what they want and all, go for that. But parents also, sometimes most of these parents would rather choose for their kids the careers that they are going to venture in than allowing their own children to choose what they really want to do. Are you also involving parents in as far as this is concerned?
Yes, it is part of our plan. Meanwhile, we don't establish that, but next, it is part of our plan. That is, it's not easy to gather parents, but what we do is we open a platform where we put all the students, you understand? So let's say you have an encounter with your parents, you choose a particular career, they said, no, you should choose this one. Then you contact us. Then if you talk to us, we'll also try to bring in people who are perhaps influential in the community. We'll escort you up to your house, sit with your parent, have dialogue with him or her. With that now, I believe there will be a particular agreement or a consensus at the end of the day. Because you cannot force parents to do this or that. But at least if you bring somebody who's influential and then who is knowledgeable, he or she at least perhaps could be able to influence.
But you can also look at your son. Like, your son is very keen maybe in repairing mobile phones, laptops. I have a son like that. He can make touch lights. When the power is off, you see the whole house is bright, and you'll be wondering what is happening. He'll tell you, it's my light that I made from the solar.
He might invent something for us.
He does that. So he recycle, like a drawer to a chair. To a stool now, which I use for my attire. You see? So he does all those things. So I said to him, look, after grade 12, you're studying something different.
We have a young inventor coming.
Yes, young one.
Our boy.
You see? So you can look at a son and you say, okay, this career might be good for him.
So.
You understand? So if that child want to divert again, that would be crazy.
Just to add something, that's why we want to partner with Gambia Civic Council to help us. In meeting the parents and talk to them also. We are thinking of partnering a lot of people. The Ministry of Education also should come on board. That is part of our next target.
Yeah, so thank you very much for coming, Alex. Interesting, engagement here. And you've listened to him. His language is good.
It is.
He speaks the king's language.
I'm trying.
Yes, now it's no more the queen's.
It's now the king's language.
It's the king's,
Yeah, so thank you, Alex. And we'll be following your developments. And don't hesitate to contact us.
No problem.
QTV is your home. All right? Yeah, so this is all we have, Julde.
Until we come your way tomorrow for another interesting edition.
Another program. Thank you.